Simple list building strategies. How to build an email list of your own. You've probably heard it many times. The money is in the list. While that statement doesn't tell the whole story, and you'll find out why shortly, it really is true. There are very few assets in an internet business that are as valuable as your list. Unfortunately, far too many internet marketers ignore this particular component of their business. They may not know what they should write in their emails. Some people are afraid of what people might think of them, while others would prefer to do stuff that just requires no personal interaction. While you can get away with ignoring list building, doing so means you're leaving a lot of money and other opportunities on the table. In this report, we're going to look first of all at why you should be building a list, and then we're going to look at 5 steps to go from zero to a decent-sized list in less time than you might think. Let's get started. There's one big advantage of building a list of your own: control over your business. So many of the things we do as internet marketers require us to rely on some other person or company. To get traffic to our sites, we rely on Google and other search engines, both for natural and paid search. For monetization, we're often at the mercy of affiliate networks, affiliate programs like Amazon.com, and ad networks like Google AdSense. If one of those companies changes their terms or decides that they just don't like the way we're conducting business for some reason, they can shut down our traffic, revenue, or both virtually overnight. But when you have a list of your own and have built a good relationship with them, you take back control. Notice that I said build a good relationship with them. This is the piece that's missing from the money's in the list statement. In actual fact, the money's in your relationship with the list. If you want traffic to a new site or a new article on one of your existing sites, you can send an email with a link and get clicks almost instantly. Even when you're in Google's good books, it's pretty tough to get instant traffic to a brand new page or site. Or if you want to generate some revenue, you can email your list with a link to one of your own products, an affiliate offer, or even an article on your site that's monetized with AdSense or some other type of ads. You're the one controlling things, not all those other companies. Plus, when you build a good relationship with the people on your list, you can wind up getting other benefits as well. You can find potential JV partners, networking opportunities, and even build new friendships. Hopefully you're beginning to see the value in building a list, assuming you weren't already convinced before, so let's move on to the action plan for doing just that. Your lead capture system is one of the most important components of this process. If your lead capture isn't working well, it's not going to matter how good your autoresponder series is or how effective you are at writing promotional emails. Nobody is ever going to see them. You need to get them onto your list first. While putting a simple sign up for my free newsletter box on the side column of your website will generate some subscribers, chances are it's not going to get a lot. Instead, you need to make getting the opt-in your top priority. One of the most effective ways to do this is to use what's called a name squeeze or squeeze page. This is a page that basically does nothing but sell the opt-in to your visitors. It's like a mini sales letter whose job is to convince the visitor to enter their information and click the subscribe button instead of clicking an order button. As a result, it needs most of the same components as a sales letter: an effective headline, copy that will give the reader a reason why they should subscribe, and a strong call to action. You'll want to use all the same copywriting techniques that you would use when selling something. Even though no money changes hands, it's not truly a free offer. The subscriber is paying you by giving you the ability to contact them again in the future. It's important that you make a good case for why they should do so on your squeeze page. To get people to sign up for your email list, you'll want to offer them some type of incentive. This could be as simple as a free subscription to your email newsletter, but this strategy isn't nearly as effective as it once was. Free email newsletters are a dime a dozen, so you'll have much better results if you offer something over and above this. There are lots of different things that you can offer: a free report or ebook, webinar or audio recordings, software or other tools, free access to a membership site, and so on. Just make sure you deliver some serious value with this freebie. You want your subscribers to think, man, if I'm getting this much value for free, imagine what I'll get if I actually buy something from this person. The final component of your lead capture system is an email service such as Aweber or GetResponse. Actually, this is probably the first step since you need to have a service to collect subscribers in order to set up your squeeze page. But beyond the actual subscription process, you also want to have a follow-up autoresponder series in place. By automating this process, your new subscribers will be sure to get several emails from you right away after subscribing, which is when they're going to be most receptive to your emails and most impressionable about whether or not you're providing value. Your autoresponder should be written so it's evergreen. This means that the content of your messages won't appear dated or inappropriate at certain times of the year. For example, you'd want to avoid referencing a particular holiday or date since that will seem out of place to someone who subscribes any other time of year. By making the content evergreen, you won't have to worry about going back and changing it often. The autoresponder service will handle all the initial contact with new subscribers so you don't have to. Traffic generation is a huge topic of its own, so there's just no way that we can get into any great detail in this report. But let's look at a few effective ways to get traffic to your squeeze page and hopefully from there onto your email list. One of the most popular methods is content syndication. This includes things like article marketing, guest blogging, Web 2.0 sites like Squidoo and HubPages, and other such places that you can share your own content. Most of these types of sites let you include links within your content or in a resource box at the end that points back to your own website. This is essentially the payment that you receive for providing these other sites with content that they can use. The key here is to link back to your squeeze page, not the home page of your site, unless they're one and the same, of course. By linking back to your squeeze page and making an offer in your resource box, you'll get a lot higher conversion rate of visitors to subscribers. For example, your resource box could say something like, to receive a free copy of our special report, 5 Secrets of Doing XYZ, just visit our site at www.oursite.com/free report. Point the link to your squeeze page where you'll be able to really convince the visitor to sign up. But because they already know they can get a free report or whatever incentive you might be offering, they're going to be somewhat pre-sold before they even get there. The same technique can be used for other forms of traffic generation as well, such as video marketing or audio syndication. The difference is how you present the offer for the free incentive. You can't include a clickable link in a video or an audio recording, so you'll need to present them accordingly, depending on the medium. Just make sure you make a clear call to action to convince the listener or the viewer to visit your site and sign up to get their freebie. Forums are another great way to generate traffic to your squeeze page. If you're active in any market-related forums, you can usually include a link to your own site in your signature. Just make sure that your link is pointing at your squeeze page, not at the home page of your site. Joint ventures are another effective way to build an email list. They can take many forms, but the basic idea is that you are partnering up with another marketer in your niche and helping one another grow your email lists. When the term JV is mentioned, most internet marketers think of ad swaps. You send an ad to your list for your JV partner, and they do the same for you. Some of your subscribers will join their list, and some of theirs will join yours, so you both benefit. Ad swaps can definitely work well, but one of the biggest drawbacks is that you have to already have a list to make them work. If you have no list, it's going to be pretty tough to do a swap with another marketer. If this is the case, though, there are other ways you can approach a joint venture deal. Maybe you do all the work to create a new product, which your JV partner can then promote to their list. All the buyers get added to your email list after purchasing, so you're building a list of your own in exchange for the work you did. Or maybe you create some sort of a freebie that your JV partner can offer to their list exclusively. This could be a report or an ebook, or maybe an audio interview, or even a webinar with your partner, for example. There are lots of ways to arrange JV deals even if you don't yet have a list of your own. Just be creative and think about what you can offer in place of additional subscribers to your partner's list. Another thing to consider about joint venture deals is that you don't have to go after the big guns in your market right off the bat. In fact, you're probably better not to. Look for smaller marketers who have built somewhat of a following but aren't necessarily well known yet. These people will usually be more open to smaller JV deals, and you can leverage the results you get with them to go after bigger and bigger fish in the market. Eventually, you'll have enough resources to land JV deals with the best-known marketers in your niche if you want to. Giveaway events are a popular way to build email lists, particularly for people who are starting from scratch or who have relatively few subscribers. These events are made up of a bunch of marketers working in the same niche, each giving away some type of freebie in exchange for subscribing to their list. The idea behind these events is that all the marketers involved will promote the event to their own lists, and those people will subscribe to various other marketers' lists to get the freebies being offered. If everything goes according to plan, everybody involved will gain subscribers on their own list. These events don't always work out quite like they sound, however. For one thing, many marketers don't email their lists or might only email a small portion of them, so you don't get as much exposure as you think. And because there are so many marketers involved in most of these events, even if people do sign up for a bunch of lists, they can quickly get overwhelmed with all the email they start receiving. Many marketers in these events take the churn and burn approach to email marketing. In other words, they hammer people with emails until they either buy or unsubscribe. When a bunch of marketers take this same approach, it doesn't take long for the subscribers to lose interest and start ignoring all the noise. There are a couple of things you can do to help improve your odds with these giveaway events, however. First, look for events that have some clear rules for how the participants have to promote them. If they require all participants to email their lists or they get removed from the event, it will help ensure everyone promotes it properly. It's also a good idea to choose events that review the products being given away. Look for events that require relatively new products and don't allow duplicate products from multiple marketers. This will help ensure a higher quality of offer, which means visitors will be more likely to subscribe. Finally, and most importantly, don't take that same churn and burn attitude that many other participants will. Treat the people who subscribe to your list with respect and provide them with some serious value in those all-important first few emails you send via autoresponder. If they're getting a bunch of crap from most of the lists that they subscribe to and you're one of the only ones giving them real value, they're going to be a lot more likely to say subscribe to your list. Viral marketing is one of the most effective ways to build your list, but it's also one of the hardest to implement. The way viral marketing works is that something you create gets shared by other people, then those people share it, and so on, creating a sort of a self-sustaining source of traffic. You've probably experienced it with things like funny videos or images. Someone sends you something that's funny or interesting and you share it with other people on Twitter, Facebook, or however you choose. A certain number of those people then share it with their contacts and on it goes. The problem with viral marketing is that it's not always easy to come up with something shareable like that. You might think something that you create is the funniest, most clever thing ever, only to wonder why nobody else agrees and it doesn't go anywhere. There are some things you can do to help kickstart a viral campaign, however. The first thing is to create something that has a higher chance of going viral in the first place. While useful content is okay, if you can create something that is somewhat controversial or even mildly offensive, it's going to have a much better chance of getting some traction. People are a lot more likely to share things that they either agree or disagree with strongly. If you can create content that really polarizes your audience, it's a much better starting point. For example, take all the so-and-so is dead reports that you see in the internet marketing niche. Whether or not the service or technique is actually dead, these type of reports get people all worked up, which makes them share it with other people they know in the market. Once you have your content created, the next step to helping it go viral is to give the marketing and sharing process a bit of a kickstart. If you already have an email list, send them an email with a link to it, asking them to like it, share it, or whatever needs to be done to help it spread. You can do the same with any online communities that you're a part of. Forums, blogs, membership sites, etc. Share the content with those people and ask them to help you kickstart it by sharing it with their circle of friends. Getting the ball rolling is the hardest part of viral marketing. Once the exposure reaches a tipping point, you won't need to push it any longer. It's going to keep growing under its own momentum. But without that initial push, it's a lot harder to get that momentum going. Hopefully this report is giving you some insight into list building, both why you should be doing it and how to get started. And remember, the most important part of the process is to just get started. Don't worry if your first effort isn't a home run. Chances are it won't be. But you'll learn a lot more from actually taking action on these strategies than you ever will by simply reading about them. And something else you'll probably find is that once you start building your list and getting responses to your emails, you'll quickly get a feel for what people are really looking for. No matter how thoroughly you plan ahead of time, you'll probably find that your subscribers get as much or more value out of stuff that you didn't even think about when writing the email as they do from what you actually intended them to. And this kind of feedback is invaluable for creating a successful, customer-focused business. If you listen to and respond to your subscribers, it becomes easier and easier to create products, write articles or blog posts, put together helpful videos, or any other type of content creation. It's just a matter of getting started and taking that first step.